Hey guys, this is a Dude 2 and another Go video here. This is going to be a video on Joseki. I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been talking quite a bit about working on pincers because this is my goal for the year. I want to get good fundamentals of pincers mastered. So I do plan on doing a pincer intro video where I go over the basics, the different types of pincers, when and where to play a pincer according to traditional Fuseki theory and Joseki theory. But I don't have enough stuff for a good full coverage intro video for that, so I'm still working on that. That's coming. But in my pincer research, I found a Joseki that works for every type of pincer. And instead of memorizing a different variation for each pincer, I figured, this is my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I figure if you could learn one variation that works for every single pincer, I figure you're going to be set, at least for a while. You know, you'll know how to handle it. There's a lot to be said about this. For instance, if your opponent knows that you only know this one answer to every pincer, you know, they'll just keep pincering you and know exactly what you're going to do, so they can plan off that. But you don't have to tell them, you know. But it's a very, very simple to remember, and it's very common. It works. I see in my research. When I say every single pincer, I mean every pincer from the 3-4 point. I'm not sure whether or not it works as a Joseki, meaning an equal result on a different, like a 3-3 or a 4-4. But on this Komaku, this 3-4 point here, which I'll zoom in and give you a better view. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see. Give you just a little bit better view. Okay, so 3-4 point right here. 3-4 point right here. I'm not certain if a 3-3 point pincer, which exists, not very common, but it's there, if it'll work for that or if it'll work for a 4-4. And whether or not I can get it to work doesn't mean it's proper Joseki. So we're going to stick with proper Joseki. So what we'll go is a 3-4 point. Now we've been over a couple different Josekis from this. It's called a high approach. Okay, but these are going to be low approaches. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time, black's not going to want to do a type of pincer over here. Okay, special situation. But on a low approach, a pincer is going to be common. Okay, depending upon the board situation, always depending upon the board situation. Okay, black can respond in a couple of ways. It could ignore. It could just play elsewhere. Okay, black could perform a Shusaku diagonal, which is a very strong move, even though it's considered a little slow in modern professional Go. This is a move that's been around a long time, and it's very strong. But what we're going to cover is the pincers. Now, the reason I said this Joseki is simple and it works for all the pincers, for all 3-4 pincers, is because here's, first of all, this is not a pincer. It's just touching, contact. This is considered contact. This is contact. This is contact. This is contact. All of these, one space away, are contact. So that is not a pincer. Pincer, by definition, means it pinches. It prevents white from making a base. Okay. So any stone near another stone that is not in contact that prevents it from making a base is a pincer. For instance, white can't make a base here. Standard stone base, because it's automatically in contact. Okay, so the pincers are high, one space high, one space low, two space low, two space high, three space high, three space low. The reason this is not a pincer is because white can make a base and he's not touching. Same with here. Okay, so that's why pincers are only 1 to 3 spaces, and this prevents it because it's contact. So what is this magic awesome Joseki that works for all pincer types? Okay, I'll show you right now. Basically, so let's start from fresh. So you played the 3-4, called the Komaku. White does a low approach. Black pincers. Now there is a little something to pay attention to for this tight pincer, which we'll go over as a second type of variation. So we'll play any other type of pincer except for this one space, because the one space there is a little something you got to be cautious of, but the Joseki still works. So we'll go here. All white's going to do is a one space jump here. Black is more likely than not going to answer here, and there are tons of variations, but this is the most common. Okay? Now, white's going to play up. Black is probably going to do something like this, or whatever. Okay? But I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. Let's try one more time. Here, here, pincer, one space jump, here, white will play here, threatening the next move to cause trouble for black. Black will play down, white will play up. This ends the actual Joseki variation. White can ignore this now. White can play elsewhere, and I'll tell you why. Because no matter where black attacks, white always has another option. It's called miai in Japanese. It's if A, then B. If B, then A. So here's the A and B points. Okay, these are the spots where white can play to make a guaranteed I. Okay, so if black plays here, white will play here. If black plays here or up here somewhere, white will play here, and this guarantees white life. Now, does that mean I can guarantee myself to live? No, because I could mess up, okay? But this is how you want to study this. It's considered alive as long as you don't screw up, okay? There's no way for black to kill you unless you mess up. So, here's a Joseki variation. Now, how this could play out a lot of ways. You know, black could attack, you know, white can push over to make life, you know, black could try to push in again, you know, white could do something like this, black could pull back, white could do a nice jump out here, you know, black could pincer in, white can play here, but you see that white has a way out, okay? You know, black plays a move like this, you know, it's just helping you get another eye. Even though it's not a true eye yet, because it could be surrounded, yada 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 yada. You can jump out, right? There's a lot going on, but then this black group's kind of getting in trouble, getting surrounded. These variations are dozens. Okay, this it's little to do with the basic Joseki that I'm going over. I just wanted to kind of show you how it can play out. Let's do it one more time, and then I'll show you what you need to keep an eye on with the tight pincer. Okay, so we komaku, low approach, do a nice pincer here, okay, one space, black answers here, here, black more than likely will pull down. He more than likely will not do this, because this leaves all kinds of cutting trouble. So when he pulls down, white pulls up, boom, end of Joseki. And then we know that this is a special point, and this Keima, knight's move, is a special point for making eye shape, okay? The stone's kind of lonely, so if you could build up strength, you could attack this stone. If this stone presses in, you could build up strength, and you could attack these stones. So it works. It's a nice Joseki that works. Here's another variation. Well, let me go over the tight one first, and then I'll show you one more variation that's very common that may happen to you. Once I learned this, it started happening to me, and I had to do a little more research and figure out how to handle it. It wasn't bad. But this is called a tight pincer. It's one space. It's as close and tight and severe as can possibly be. It puts a lot of pressure on white. Usually white just says, screw the fighting, I'm going to jump out on this, okay? But let's go through the variation and show you how it still works. White will go here. Black will push down. White will push down. White will push up. Now, it's black's turn. You still have the miai, okay? But If black pushes up here, this causes a lot of trouble, because even if white does this move here, black can put a lot of pressure on these stones, like a lot of pressure. It's gonna live, but you know, maybe I played the sequence a little off, but it's going to cause an awful lot of pressure to white. Okay, so things you need to be careful of. If you get a chance, if we back this up a little bit, hopefully I can do it without, I can't, not my forte. So a little hint, when you're playing this tight pincer, and you jump in, and black goes here, white goes, where are we here, sorry, black goes here, white goes here. If black plays anywhere, okay, if he tries anything like this, your best move is always here, okay, for a couple of reasons. One, and when I say your best move, I'm talking about beginners here, who are just kind of figuring this out. This really makes you safe, okay, because you always have this cut here, which will give you corner space, eye space in the corner. This will give you your two eyes right here. So you're gonna live once you play here, okay? You gotta play pretty screwed up, or they gotta really be really good to mess with that, okay? If black answers, then you could try one of your punch out, you know, push out moves. Just makes him clumped, and technically you're still all right. You know what I mean? You're still good. You could jump back here and kind of mess with their wall. You could do a lot of stuff, but this is pretty important if you're not very confident with your fighting skills. This move, play it as soon as you can on a tight pincer, and I think you'll be all right. Again, everything changes when you get stronger, but for beginners, it's a very good idea to play here as soon as you can on a tight pincer. And now another variation that happens quite a bit. And when this happened to me, I kind of got freaked out a bit, because I'm like, oh no, I did not plan for this. Right? So we'll keep it regular pincer. White plays here, black plays here, white plays down. Well, guess what white decides to do? White decides to just totally mess with you, okay? Or black decides to totally mess with you. Black's gonna play here and put the stone in Atari. And you're like, come on, man. Why don't you just play nice? Why you gotta mess with stuff? Okay, well, this is a pretty common response. So the first thing you want to do, that you think, is you want to block here, right? This just allows black to just steal the whole corner. You could play here and start some type of weird co-threat going back and forth, but there's no threats going around as of right now. Probably you won't be worried about this type of stuff later on. So what you're going to do is you're going to Atari out here. Okay, now black is going to take this probably, right? Because this gives him life in the corner. And now white is going to play underneath, because if black cuts any of these places, you're going to kill this and threaten to kill all these stones, and black's just going to have one weak stone here. It's going to be one heck of a tough fight for black, is what I'm saying. So more likely than not, black's best move is to fill in here. It's a very strong shape. And now white has to decide, does he want to try to protect these three stones or this one stone? Black wants to protect the three stones. So black's going to play a move like this. And there are a couple ways to answer. You know, you could maybe do a block like this. It's probably a little safer, but it leaves some aju for a type of peep that you have to answer. So this is probably a good safe move. Okay. Now there's still some fighting going on. More likely than not, white's going to want to absolutely be sure that he lives, so he'll play something like this. And then he can cut here. And then black can do a type of cut here. Like just cause all kinds of issue. Probably not a good move there. And then you got another shape. But the purpose of this, now this whole sequence is just kind of my kind of flowing. This is similar to what happens to me in some of my games. But basically, when black does this, he's going to take the corner. Instead of fighting him on it, this influence is a lot better. Okay, he's only got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points at the most. And as long as he wants to push, you let him push. He's going to live. Don't try to kill him. Just build up this influence. I mean, this is great potential, you know. Stone here and a stone here, and this is a lot more points than this. Okay, so let's go over this one more time. It's common for an aggressive player, somebody who doesn't necessarily want to settle easily. He just wants some trouble, you know. So you do a pincer. The reason he would do like a tight pincer is because he wants to bully you. He wants to fight, right? So let's fight it. We'll do the tight pincer this time. So we play here. We place here, hoping he moves down. He decides to cause some trouble. So you're just going to cause him trouble. He's going to take the corner. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put pressure here. Once again, his best move is to fill in. If he doesn't, you have an advantage. According to 2 Joseki dictionaries that I talked to, filling in is the right move. So let's just assume he fills in properly. Okay. Then you could play a protecting move here. This may not be so great because this could cause trouble here, but I like this one. And then if black decides to capture here, white will counter capture, right? You can play that. Black can go this way. Either way, you're all right as white. You don't even have to cause trouble here, you know, because of the tight pincer. You could be worried about this. You could just play out nice and soft. Just build your wall. No big worry. Again, if he does this, you just do this. He'll take here. You're okay. You're okay. No biggie. Once again, it's a little tighter. You do have to worry about, if you play this way, you got to worry about this a little bit. Some people would say, ignore it, you know, let him try to cut. If he cuts, then you got him even more blocked in. Yeah, black will take here, white will take here, black will try to jump out. I mean, look at this wall you're building. This is pretty awesome, right? Just something to think about when you're playing the Joseki. Again, I'm going to be working on a, turn this toward me just a little more, sorry about that guys. I'm going to be working on a intro to pincers, where I'm going to cover when to pincer, when not to pincer, according to Go theory. Modern and ancient, because they're a little different. But I thought it was pretty cool that in my studies I found a Joseki that would be easy to learn. It's just a couple moves. It pretty much guarantees your safety when you're pincered. A lot of people get creamed pincers. People are good at these things. So as a beginner, instead of memorizing, like you got to memorize a Joseki for the 4-3, you got to memorize a Joseki for the 4-4. You should know how to answer the 5-3, which I've just been learning a couple that I'm going to share in the future, because that's pretty commonly played. Some people who just like crazy combinations and crazy fights are going to want to go for the 5-4, which could lead to a lot of trouble. You learn a couple Josekis for the 3-3. But what's nice is, instead of learning a different Joseki for each pincer, just learn this one Joseki, get it down pretty good, and you could survive most pincer attacks. So that was kind of my goal for you guys. It's helped me a lot. I've gotten a lot stronger just from learning this one Joseki, because I no longer focus more attention than I need to on this pincer. Just to go over it one more time and show you what I mean by the focusing a lot of time, is one of the big problems beginners, myself included, have, is knowing when to tanuki, when to play elsewhere. Well, the answer is given. I just gave you the answer with this. If this variation plays out and you play here, you're done. You could play elsewhere, right? You don't have to answer. You could completely forget about this whole area. And there I go doing it again. You can completely forget about this whole area right now. Sorry guys, I'm not a professional. As soon as you play here, This group is not going to die. Alright? As long as you have this spot and this spot. The knights move this way. I mean, other moves might work, but this is the for sure one. And this move this way in the 2-2. You're not going to die. No need to panic. If black plays here, like black plays here. Okay, well, is this move good? This move's good? Yes, still? Okay, fine. Maybe I'll play over here in this corner. Black says, oh well, I'll just block you in more. Is this place fine and fine? Yeah? Okay, well then I'll just take the whole corner over here. You know, whatever you could just ignore this forever until black decides to play around this area and screw with your knights. Alright? When that happens, take your safe spot, or if black plays up here, take your safe spot. Should be good. Right? Black's going for the kill. Safe. 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 Alright, what's black gonna do? This? Look at that. Ice! Ice! Safe. Sorry, I'm a little crazy. I haven't had much sleep lately. I hope this is helpful to you guys. Experiment with this. This will make you a lot stronger, especially if you're busy focusing on, like, originally I was memorizing a Joseki for each pincer. And learning all the variations is crazy. Focus on one. It's a basic one. It's strong. It works. The variations aren't many compared to memorizing different Josekis with different variations. Just memorize this one Joseki with many variations of it. And, I mean, it's a lot easier when you know that you're safe. So, I hope this helps. I'm going to keep popping out the videos. I'm having technical difficulties right now, so the intro is going to be put on hold. I know I worked hard on it, but Windows 8, I upgraded to Windows 8 and it's causing me all kinds of video problems. So if you have any helpful hints with that, please let me know. My movie maker is lowering the quality of my videos when I'm adding the intro. I'm using Windows Movie Maker, so maybe some techies out there. But that's it. New Joseki video. Hope you guys enjoy. I look forward to your comments and criticisms, and hopefully we can keep learning from each other. Thanks, guys. Bye.